Guys. Okay, welcome to my bedroom. First off, that is where we are recording this tonight, and my dog is just about to straight up jump on this bed. Hi you guys. Okay, I am Taylor Utsi. I am an Emerald. I have been here since 2018, my dog. And your amazing leader has asked me to just share some really pivotal moments for me in my business. And that's what I want to do. I kept going back and forth on like, what do I want to talk about? What do I want to share? But there are two like main instances for me that like changed everything. Okay. So that's what I want to share tonight. So first, I'm going to kind of take y'all back to 2018 when I was a brand new person. Okay. I had just started the business. Okay. This was like day one. And if y'all know anything about our Leaders Retreat contest, y'all, we were entering the last 30 days of that contest. And my direct sponsor is Jordan Roddenberry. And she called and she was like, Taylor, like you have 30 days to earn this cruise to the Bahamas. Like, do you want to go for it? And I was like, yes, but also like, what does that mean? What does that entail? Okay. She told me she was very clear about like the amount of work that this was going to take. And you know what? I went for it. Like, why not? Um, and so I made a Franks list, which if you don't know what that is, ask your sponsor, they can send it to you. I messaged people who liked, commented on my posts, watched my story views. I literally pulled up Messenger and I pulled up like the people who were online. I messaged them. Okay. I had belief that I could make this happen, but also I was like, I want to give it my all. And so that's what I did. And here's what happened. On the last day, y'all, I earned it and I was so proud of myself, but the boat filled up 20 minutes before I earned it. Y'all, like it was hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a brand, like I had just gone silver. I was brand new. I did not have this like big, massive why that was really fueling me. Like I knew what I wanted out of this, but I was still so brand spanking new that situation could have very, very easily derailed me. But let me tell you what it did, y'all, is I immediately had this thought of like, okay, I have two options here. I can either throw this pity party, woe is me, this isn't fair, I deserve to be on the boat, okay? Or I could have this thought of this hurts, okay? But also, I proved to myself that in a 4 month contest, I can earn it in 30 days. Plexus gave me a $500 cash buyout, which was baller. I took that, and my husband and I went to Colorado for 3 or 4 days and had a little mini vacation. Um, and so that's what I did, y'all. I chose this option because this was the one that was going to serve me most. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it did not hurt me. I'm not saying I did not cry some tears, and I'm not saying that I did not have massive FOMO when those girls were on the boat and I was not there. I had massive FOMO, okay? But because of that, I told myself I will never miss another trip like ever again. And y'all, every single year since then, I have earned the Leaders Retreat trip. And not only that, there's been multiple where I have swept the contest multiple times and multiple times where I have helped my level ones sweep the contest. Okay. And so the reason I'm sharing that with y'all is because you're going to have really high highs in your business. And then sometimes you're going to go into a valley. Okay. And a valley might look like you push for a rank and you miss it. A valley might look like your points are the lowest that they've been in a couple of months. Okay. A valley could be you have a business builder quit. Okay. Or you're getting a lot of no's or whatever. But y'all, at the end of the day, it is normal and everybody gets them. Do not let that be the reason that you just toss your hands up in the air and walk off. Okay. Or even if quitting is not on the table, don't let that valley be a reason that maybe you pull your foot off the pedal just a little bit because there has never been a valley I have walked through where I have not come out better and where I have not learned a very, very valuable lesson that I needed to learn. Every single time that has happened, and every single time I have been made better for it. And so will you. Okay. But with that being said, I want to show you guys the blessing that came from all of those times where things did not go my way. Okay. So, y'all, March 2nd of this year, so just about 2 months ago, my husband and I have two boys, they're 7 and 5, and my 7-year-old had a fall in our house where he sustained a traumatic brain injury. Okay. We had to call the squad on him. We had to rush him to the hospital in an ambulance. We got there, found out that he had a 4 to 5 inch break on the side of his skull. He had a severe concussion and a brain bleed. Imagine the sheer panic. If you're a mom, you're going to vibe with this, even if you're not, and you're probably going to feel that. It was very traumatizing to see them wheel our son into a trauma bay and cut off his clothes and rub him on his chest to try to wake him up. At one point, there was talk of intubation because he couldn't breathe. They were not confident that he was going to live through the night. His pupils would not dilate. He had a seizure. Like there was a lot of really hard things. And even in the very most traumatizing season of my life, Plexus brought me so much peace. And I want to tell y'all why. Because that month that we were in the hospital, the following month when we got our paycheck, y'all, my paycheck did not go down. There was a solid 2.5 weeks in the beginning of March where I could not give my business 100% because my son was just not well, and my paycheck did not go down. Um, there was a moment where like the social worker kept asking me, "Do you need a PTO note? Do you need a PTO note?" And y'all, I got to say no. Do you want to know why I got to say no? Because I didn't quit every single time that I was in a valley. Then, 4 or 5 days later, when my son was discharged and he came home, y'all, we couldn't even ride in the car without him feeling like he needed to get sick. Okay. So like he required a lot of medical attention from me. I did not have to worry about going back to work. I was my son's primary caregiver. And even though I probably would have been his primary caregiver, I would have had to have used all of my PTO time and I probably would have had to take a disability or something, because there's no way that a corporate job would have given me the 2.5 months that I would have needed to basically nurse him back to health. Okay. But again, because I didn't quit in every single valley, I did not have to say no to that, and our paycheck did not go down. We had a team that rallied and supported us and worked. And it was just amazing. Okay. Y'all, some of my valleys were that it was the cruise that I didn't earn. Another valley was when I pushed for incentives and I had girls on my team earn it and I didn't earn it. Another incentive or another valley for me was when I pushed for Ruby and I missed it by 4 or 5 orders. Okay. That was a valley. Another valley was when I had multiple builders quit. Okay. Like, y'all, we've all been there. This is all so normal. Another valley is when my points were the lowest that they've been in a while. Okay. Like, whenever, I don't even know, whenever like that season was. Okay. But it's normal. It is a part of the process. And when we stop allowing those valleys to mean something about ourselves, freedom comes from that. And then what also comes from that, y'all, I hope and pray you guys never end up in that situation that we were in, but tomorrow's not guaranteed. And even if we wake up tomorrow, there's no guarantee that our kids won't end up in the hospital. There's no guarantee that we won't have a medical crisis. There's no guarantee that our car won't break tomorrow and we will have to go buy a new car. Okay. There's no guarantee that things are going to go right tomorrow. But let me tell y'all, I am so glad that I did not wait until the glass had been shattered, aka life being really traumatizing, for me to put pedal to the metal and get my butt in gear. I pedaled to the metal from the beginning, knowing that this was going to be hard. I was going to have some challenges, but also it was going to bring me an immense amount of blessings. And that's exactly what it did. Those hard things allowed me the blessing of being able to be with my son when he desperately needed his mom. And his mom was able to say yes because I did not wait until that moment to get my butt in gear. And so, all of this to say, the reason I'm sharing this with y'all is because this business has the opportunity to provide an incredible amount of freedom and blessings for y'all, but you've got to be willing to stick with it. And I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, it's worth it. And if you ask any jewel or any diamond, they're going to tell you that all of their valleys were worth it because they were. And every time that you get out of that valley, you're going to be better for it. You're going to have learned a lesson and you're going to be a better leader to your team because of it. And so stick with it, y'all. It is worth it, I promise. And I just cannot wait to see what this team does very soon. So, bye. Love y'all.